AMALearning, you're about to. Specification Point 3.11b. Describe the work of Gregor Mendel in discovering the basis of genetics and recognize the difficulties of understanding inheritance before the mechanism was discovered. This is a biology-only specification point. To successfully answer any GCSE questions linked to this topic, you will need to understand what Mendel did, why it is important, and why the scientists of his time did not accept his research. Let's learn about Gregor Mendel, often referred to as the father of genetics. Mendel's experiments laid the foundation for our understanding of inheritance, although his work wasn't fully appreciated until after his death. So, who was Gregor Mendel, and what important work did he do? Mendel was a monk and scientist who conducted breeding experiments on pea plants in the mid-19th century. He used a mathematical approach to study how traits were passed from one generation to the next, focusing on observable characteristics like flower color, seed shape, and plant height. Mendel observed that inherited characteristics are controlled by units, now called genes, passed unchanged from parents to offspring. Mendel studied the inheritance of different characteristics in pea plants. He found that when he bred red flowers and white flowers, that the offspring all made red flowers. He found that when he bred them again, most of the offspring were red, but some were white. He therefore concluded that this was because the allele for red flowers is dominant and the allele for white flowers is recessive. Mendel predicted the 3-to-1 ratio of dominant to recessive traits in the offspring of heterozygous parents. In other words, parents with both the dominant and recessive alleles. Mendel faced many challenges, the biggest one being a lack of recognition. Mendel's work wasn't accepted during his lifetime because DNA had not yet been discovered, so the physical mechanism of inheritance was unknown. His mathematical approach to biology was new and not widely understood. His findings were published in an obscure journal, making them less accessible to the scientific community. It wasn't until the early 20th century, after the discovery of chromosomes and the mechanisms of DNA, that Mendel's ideas were validated and recognized as groundbreaking. Why is Mendel's work important? Mendel established the principles of inheritance, including concepts of dominant and recessive alleles, paving the way for modern genetics. His work informs the use of genetic crosses, Punnett squares, and the prediction of inheritance patterns. Gregor Mendel's experiments with pea plants helped us understand how traits are passed from one generation to the next. Despite challenges during his time, his work remains important in the study of genetics today. Our animations were designed by experienced UK-trained teachers. We have been achieving amongst the best results in the country for many years, and we decided it was time to share our success. Have you just AMALed and want to AMAL some more? Don't forget to like, subscribe and share to keep yourself up to date with the latest uploads. AMALearning, you just did.